Have you been thinking about starting a GLP-1 and you haven't started yet? Oh my gosh, chapter 5 is going to be so helpful for you. And for all my shipmates out there who have been on a GLP-1 journey, this is just a great chapter to see what our doctors probably should have done for us if they were truly dialed in and knew the absolute best way to help you. And this is a great opportunity in this particular live because it is an interactive live. It is our weight loss book club where we are discussing weightless, the book Weightless, but you can share some of your experiences here and we can help each other, especially any newbies who pop on who don't know what it's like yet to take a GLP-1 and they may be a little nervous. Remember, we were before we started, taking this medication, but wow, I have been on a Mounjaro journey for 2 years, a little over 2 years now. I think I took my 110th shot last Monday and I go live every Monday and this one is 111. Yeah, so this one is going to be 111. Hopefully this is going to be my lucky week this week.
Lucky.
Yes, as it's also the week that I find out my breast biopsy, how it turns out. And I'll let you guys know. Hopefully it's a big nothing burger and being my 111th week. 11's always been my favorite number. Maybe it really will be my lucky week. And I don't have to worry about that anymore too.
Maybe you'll be blessed.
Maybe I'll be blessed.
Not just lucky.
Yes, maybe I'll be blessed. And I've been blessed with everyone who's done some prayers for me the last couple of weeks. I really do appreciate each of you and all of those. But now let's talk about GLP-1s because that's why we're here and weightless. What did you think of this chapter, Jeff?
Well, I was thinking as I was reading it, I said, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that too. Oh, I know this other. I thought, well, we sure have learned a lot over the last 111 weeks.
Yes,
Tina.
We have.
And wouldn't it have been nice to have it in a book form right at the beginning of those 111 weeks?
Yeah, but seriously, I wish I had this book 2 years ago. It would have made it so much easier for me if I had.
But you know what? Maybe you wouldn't have taken it to heart like, oh, I probably can drink one more lemon drop.
Martini. That would have kept me from puking.
It doesn't know what it's talking about here. And then you go through and you experience it and say, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
And so it would have been nice to have had all of the lessons that were learned over the past 111 weeks, all summarized up in chapter 5.
In chapter 5.
But you may not have believed them all until you experienced them.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of the things that are in chapter 5, I learned it the hard way.
Like you start off at 0.25?
No, 2.5. If you're doing Mounjaro or Zepbound.
And you're probably thinking, oh, I'm not losing weight very much very quickly here. They should dial me up, and this was a good explanation of why that's not the way to do it and how those numbers were determined over, very carefully over clinical studies and all that to figure out what is going to get your body to tolerate the medicine. And also there's stuff going on behind the scenes internally versus just body, externally. And that it also works on the brain, not just on your gut.
Exactly.
Or your fat.
So, a lot of good things. And actually what I did find that was a little bit different is over 2 years ago, my doctor told me that the 2.5 starting dose of Mounjaro was a half a dose, and that the true, the true starting dose of where it's not just to get your body ready therapeutic, that the true therapeutic, thank you, that's the word I was thinking of. Your true therapeutic dose doesn't start till 5 milligrams. So my doctor was like, hey, we're going to do this 2.5 for a month. You have 4 shots of the 2.5. And then I'm going to titrate you up if you handle the medication okay. Because that was a thing. If you can tolerate the medication just fine, then I'm going to put you on the 5 milligrams because, you know, I have type 2 diabetes. So he wasn't just looking at how much weight I needed to lose. He was looking at, oh my gosh, we got to get Gina's A1C down because it was over 7 again. And it was starting to climb back up. So he wanted me to get my A1C down. That was his main focus. And so he really wanted me on 2.5 for a month and then to flip me up to the 5 if my body could tolerate it. And he said the 2.5 was just to get your body ready. But, you know, over 2 years ago, that is what they thought. And I saw that lots of places. It wasn't just my doctor saying it, but there are a bunch of people who've lost like amazing amounts of weight and never got off 2.5 milligrams.
Right,
that on
that
2.5 milligrams, that's all they needed. And that did the trick for them. I mean, there's people who've lost almost 100 pounds on 2.5 milligrams, which is amazing. So you're not going to know until you give it a try. And she really does a good job in this chapter of explaining that when doctors titrate you up, they don't have to do it quickly, and that you don't need it to be done quickly. You need it to be done however your body is reacting to the medication. You might just need 2.5 and that's it forever. That 2.5 will just be that lucky spot. It'll be that little oomph that you needed to help you be metabolically healthy and have all that Mounjaro or Zepbound, you know, has to offer.
What is there any stuff out there right now? And this wasn't exactly in the chapter. You got me thinking.
Okay.
You know, sometimes if you're in a stall, you know, kind of shaking it up a little bit. Does anybody talk about titrating down and then for a little while, and then titrating back up again?
That can be a thing. Now,
Kind of
I've
shake
never.
things up?
I haven't done that.
No.
I am on the highest dose right now. I'm on 15 milligrams, but it took me almost 2 years to titrate up to 15 milligrams because at each dosage, except for 2.5, I was just on for a month and that was it. I actually went to 5 milligrams 1 week early because I broke my last shot of 2.5 milligrams by not pulling the gray cap off first and pulling the gray cap off last before inserting.
See,
and that didn't work.
I didn't hear that advice in chapter 5.
No. So you got that from
you
me.
Experienced that.
Yeah, because I've shared all of my experiences right here with you guys on Monday nights. Now, am I a doctor, Jeff? No. Are you a doctor? No. But I've been on this GLP-1 journey. I've been sharing what my experiences have been and what my research has been.
And always get medical advice from your doctor.
Exactly.
We're not here to give you medical advice.
No, but what we are is we're going to say things about my experience. And you know what? There's a little possibility maybe Jeff might start taking a GLP-1, but he needs to talk to his doctor about it first.
I already snuck some of your pens out of the fridge.
hit him?
They were delicious.
He's teasing. No, he hasn't. But we are going to be talking to his doctor about it too, especially now that his bladder cancer has been gone for at least 2 years. And you know, it's funny. We were worried about a lot of different things for Jeff after he's experienced bladder cancer. And so he always talks to his oncologist, urologist.
Not my gynecologist.
Yeah, that's gynecologist. He doesn't go to one of those. You know, I can hear Chalky laughing right now. But we always ask. And I've learned from this book and from my buddy who I see in the corner of my eye in the chat, Health at Any Cost, that they're discovering that GLP-1s help people who have cancer, that it actually is beneficial. So it's still something you need to talk to your own doctor about, because I don't know what kind of cancer you have, if you have cancer and you're battling that right now.
Or if that's just even a hypothesis or something.
But it's worth chatting with your doctor about. And this book is written by a doctor. She, Dr. Rocio Salas-Whalen. She is an obesity doctor. She's an endocrinologist, and she knows her stuff. And she has been, had a ton of patients that she's been able to say, how it's affected them. And there's really good stuff out there that it may be really helpful for people who are battling cancer, that it could actually be helpful with all of its anti-inflammation. And please check out Barb Health at Any Cost. She has a Substack as well as a YouTube channel, and she's one of my besties. I love, love, love Barb. And she even can read medical journals and understand what they're saying, because she does have a medical background. Yeah. So for me, it's kind of wah, 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 wah. And then I might see the word cancer, wah, 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 Mounjaro, wah, wah, wah. But she really understands stuff because she used to be a midwife. And so she has a medical background and has done medical things for a very long time. But she also has been battling cancer and writes about it in her Substack, as well as has some great videos on it. And there's a lot of exciting things out there showing that if you have to take chemo, chemo a lot of times makes you want to puke. But Mounjaro and Zepbound, there's something in it. I think it might be the GIP, but I'll let Barb tell us in the chat.
Wasn't it diarrhea? And then using Mounjaro, it takes away your diarrhea. It makes you more constipated.
Yeah, no, it was actually the vomiting.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chalky, who I see is in the chat too. He always likes to watch my stuff because he says it makes him laugh that I have always battled constipation. And so I always have to stay ahead of it when I'm on Mounjaro. And he's had the opposite thing. Before he started doing Mounjaro, he always had to battle diarrhea. And now he does it because it helps do the opposite for him. So we're all different, you guys. We all have different bodies. What does Mayor Mindy say?
Everybody is different, and every body is different.
Exactly. We all have different bodies and different chemistries in our body.
In just slightly different words in this chapter.
Yeah. So this, you guys, is a really good chapter. If you buy this book and you have not taken a GLP-1 yet, and you're getting ready to, and your doctor's like, you should really do this, it'd be really helpful for you. You might even want to read chapter 5 first and then go back and read chapter 1, because chapter 5 has so much good stuff. I wish I had chapter 5 when I first started Mounjaro, because I think it really would have helped me out a bunch and would have answered a lot of my questions. And it would have given me more topics to talk to my doctor about as well.
Oh, and that was another thing. They have a PDF version of that one list of different questions you can come and talk to your doctor about, and things that you can keep track of and then refer to. And I don't know if that's on her website or if that's only available because I have the audio book.
Yeah. So Jeff is reading Weightless through an audio book, and then sometimes he also has the Kindle version.
Yeah.
I'm a paperback gal, but I will tell you that I read half of the chapter by reading it and highlighting it. And then this morning I listened to chapter 5 with Jeff and went, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And I didn't get a chance to finish reading it by reading and highlighting like I usually do. But it's been a weird week. But yeah. But and if you want to know more about the weird week, you can check my mammograms and more playlist. But anyway, I thought this was just outstanding. One of the things she also talks about is getting a scale that when you step on it, it'll tell you what percentage of muscles that you have and what percentage of fat that you have.
Because this is not just about getting skinny, not just about losing weight, but it also is about getting healthy and recomposing your body, recomposition of your body.
Yes.
And what the verb is there, recomposing, something like that.
Yeah. And I can tell you, I use the Hume Body Pod, and I will tell you right now, at this current moment on today's date, February 22nd, I have 0 sponsors of my channel, 0. I represent no companies, absolutely 0, except for myself. I mean, I did write a book, Anchor Moments, Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness. That is the only thing that I have that anyone would buy from me that is my product, is my book. But I have no sponsors currently at the moment. But I love my Body Pod, Hume Body Pod scale. And I've had a DEXA scan. I didn't get that, though, until October of this last year. So I was already been on a GLP-1 for over a year and a half before my first DEXA scan. No, my doctor never said, hey, Gina, why don't we get a DEXA scan on you to see where how much muscle you have and body fat and bone density. And then, once a year or every 6 months, we'll check again to make sure that as you're losing weight, you're losing more fat versus losing muscle. And he didn't talk about any of that with me. But I got that from my Shipmates. There were some Shipmates that had done a DEXA scan. And I thought, well, that sounds really interesting. I should look into that. How did you find a DEXA scan? And they said, I found it through my registered dietitian. And I thought, I haven't talked to a registered dietitian since I first found out I had type 2 diabetes, and that was years ago. I probably should do one of those again. And then I found out that most health insurance, including mine, will let you talk with a registered dietitian for free in their preventative medicine. So free.
How long have DEXA scans been around?
I don't know. That's a good question. If one of you guys know the answer, put it in the chat. I'm not sure, but they've been around for quite a while because the DEXA scan that I even used looked like it was old. No, it wasn't 1950, but it didn't look new. I mean, you could tell it'd been around for a long time, that it had a lot of years of use on it, the one that I used. But I've had now a DEXA scan, and I had my DEXA scan a day after I'd gotten a Hume Body Pod scale that I step on, and then I hold the handles. I pull a string that has these handlebars, like handlebars. And it tells me how much body fat I have in each of my big body parts and how much muscle I have in each of those. And I can tell you this, it was really close. It was super close to what the DEXA scan had said about my body fat and muscle tone. And Jeff and I started working out, going to the gym and lifting weights at Planet Fitness. And having the Hume Body Pod, it was really exciting because it would show me that I was gaining muscle, and it would show me that I was losing fat. And it made me feel better because the weight on the scale wasn't changing too much, but my body fat was decreasing and my muscles were increasing. And that was really helpful. It made me feel better about my numbers, to be able to see that. Well, Jeff hurt his arm trimming our grapefruit tree, his elbow. And so it made it not fun for him to go work out. And then I had the oops-a-doodle.
It only just hurt every time after I got done.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah. So
I think I'm pretty much healed now.
Yeah. So we've taken a little bit of a break of doing weightlifting. And I can see the difference. So when I step on the Hume Body Pod and I hold the handlebars, it doesn't know if I've been to the gym or not. I don't tap something and say, yeah, I worked out 5 times this week. No, it just measures stuff. And sure enough, son of a gun, the muscles in my arms have gone down a little bit, and the muscles in my legs have gone down a little bit. So now he's feeling better. So this week we're going to be hitting the gym again so I can start getting my muscles back up again, and start doing that again. But he needed time for his elbow to heal, and we've been doing a lot of hanging out together. So I haven't really left him to go work out at the gym without him. But we go on walks and that kind of stuff. So we're still getting some exercise in, but that weightlifting really, but not the resistance training, and weightlifting really does help. It really makes a difference. And I can see that on my
Maybe that's why they call it resistance. Resistance,
because you don't want to do it. You resist going. But it does help.
Jeff, I'm so tired of your dad jokes.
Nah, I love him and his dad jokes. All right. What else? Was there anything else in here that you found that was, yes, there was something else I did, but you keep thinking if there's something else you wanted to add, and then we're going to our Shipmates. Another thing that I found very interesting in chapter 5 is it talked about how your relationship with food changes after you start a GLP-1. And I can tell you, it's done that a little bit for me too. Now, for some people, it makes them kind of sad because food was their happy thing. So, when they were stressed, they could eat something high fat, high sugar, high salt, incredibly tasty that would make them feel better. And then oh yeah, and Jeff put it on here. How has your relationship with food changed? Let me know in the comments how your relationship with food has changed. For me, I still love food. I'm Italian. Food was love. And it's how you love your family as you make them their favorite meals and things. I still love food, and food still tastes good to me. But you know what? When I go out to dinner with friends, I am so concentrated on talking with them and listening to them that I'll look down and my food has gotten cold because I forgot to eat. I forgot to eat. And I have something delicious on my plate, something incredibly delicious. But I'm really enjoying the atmosphere of the restaurant. And I'm really concentrating and super enjoying the friendships that I have with the person sitting across from me at the table. And then they'll even stop the one, especially ones who are not on a GLP-1, which is just about all of my friends that I know in person are not on GLP-1s. I know a lot of you shipmates, you are my special crew of friends that are taking GLP-1s, but most of the people in my life that I see on a daily basis are not. And when I go out to eat with them, they'll be talking to me and then they'll say, Gina, you need to eat your food. And they'll be done eating. They'll have eaten all of their food. And then I'll look down at my plate and go, oh my gosh, I only had 2 bites. And then the waiter will come and say, would you like that box? And I'll say, yeah, bring a box, but I'm not done. I will eat it. I just, I was just concentrating on the conversation because the conversation is number one for me now. And so that is different. Also, when I go to parties now, or I have friends over to the house and we do like little potluck kind of things, it used to be I would want to stand by where the food was and I would chat with people and then I'd have another bite of something delicious, and then I'd be thinking about, I want another one of these or another one of those, or I shouldn't eat too many of these things over here because gosh, they're so calorie dense, but they look so good. And I'm just drawn to the food, because it's all these really delicious things. And now I still want to taste what's there, but I'm away from the food. A lot of times I'm not standing in the kitchen by where it is. I'm really out mingling and I'm going out on the patio and chatting with the people there. And then I'm moving over this way and chatting to these people and then moving over that way and chatting with someone else. Yeah, and I am an extrovert. That is true. But I'm doing more. So a party now is more about the people and the relationships. And it's less about what am I going to eat or try not to eat? Because that would be also part of the thing. I'm at a party and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is 1,000,000 calories. I'm going to probably gain 3 pounds when I step on the scale tomorrow. I better try not to eat whatever. Isn't there a veggie tray on here? Maybe I could chew on some veggies in between to kind of slow myself down. But I'm constantly thinking about all those things. And now, nope, I'm thinking about who's in the room, who I want to chat with, who I want to listen to, who I want to, I just want to be with. And so it's kind of changed a little bit that food is not my main focus anymore. And I had crazy food chatter, which they call food noise. I had so much food noise. I thought about food the second I woke up to the second I went to bed. Because even before going to bed, I'd be thinking, okay, I ate this, this, and this. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have eaten so much of that. And just worry. And what am I going to eat tomorrow? What can I make for dinner that won't be too high in calories, but yet will satisfy me? I mean, I was just constantly thinking about food. And now I'm thinking about other things. But food still tastes good to me. And And it's different for my dad. It's funny visiting my father, who started Mounjaro before I did. And he was a super responder. In 5 months, he lost 50 pounds. It's taken me 2 years to lose 50 pounds, but it took him 5 months. But when we went to his house and stayed at his house last year, he made bacon, he made eggs, he had cinnamon rolls, and he had to make coffee from coffee samples because he doesn't drink coffee anymore. So he had like samples that he'd get, like, you go to a hotel or something, and he put a bunch of coffee samples together to have enough grounds to make a pot of coffee for me and Jeff. And so the coffee's smelling, and it smelled so good. And as Jeff and I sat down to eat, he had a glass of water and he made himself a piece of toast. So he had one piece of toast and a glass of water.
This is not medical advice.
No, actually, I'm worried about him. He needs to be eating more protein. And so I've worked on him about that a little bit. But I was like, Dad, don't you want some bacon? And he's like, nah, I'm good. He's like, food just doesn't call me anymore. I'm never, and he's never hungry, and absolutely never hungry. And he has to think to eat. And Mounjaro didn't affect me as strongly as it's affected him. So I still like food and all of that. But I still, if I'm making bacon, I'm going to have a piece of bacon. I'm not going to stand in front of that and smell it and just have a piece, And coffee, he used to drink coffee every day. And he said it makes his heart race. So he doesn't do coffee anymore. And he doesn't mind the smell of coffee, but he has no desire to ever drink coffee again. And he has very expensive alcohol, some really good stuff in his house. And he says, nah, it doesn't call him anymore. And he hasn't had a drink in over 2 years. And he's not an alcoholic. He never was, but it just took away no desire. We just have no desire for any of that kind of stuff.
Where GLP-1s act on your brain in that reward circuit, or the rewards, right?
It's the rewards. The rewards part of your brain.
Yeah.
And if you eat something really delicious, it's making that reward center go, yay, and give you a bunch of dopamine.
Yeah.
And the same thing with alcohol. You get dopamine hits when you have alcohol too. And he doesn't, none of that is that, he's not into that anymore. But he still enjoys life, and he's a happy guy. It's just that food is no longer where he gets his happiness anymore. He gets it in other places.
So do you want to go on to the chat?
Yeah, let's go to the chat, because I think that was pretty much my main takeaways from chapter 5. But seriously, there's more in chapter 5. Read it. It's a great book. And you can find this book if you go to, I do have an Amazon favorites page. I want to put the Amazon favorites page on real quick. And you can find Weightless in our Weight Loss Book Club list. We have a favorite books list, and this book is there, so you can get it there. You can also, I hate that one. There you go. That drives me crazy. It makes me dizzy. That's the one I like right there. So yeah, so you can find it there. Yeah, you can find it there. Or, you can go to your library and see if they have it, a free copy that you can read and then give back to the library. However you get your book, definitely this one is thebomb.com. And if you've not started a GLP-1 journey yet, you really want to have this book. And this is a book that even Barb, Health at Any Cost, wrote in her last Substack article that I read this week. It's a good gift that you could even gift it to your doctor if your doctor doesn't already have one. So that way your doctor would have it. Because
that's a nice way to do that.
Yeah, because it is just chock full of fantastic information. And chapter 5 is a must read if you've never taken a GLP-1. And if you have, you can still read it and get, and there's still things to learn in there. But boy, it would be just the thing to have if you're just getting started. It would be absolutely amazing. All right, let's see what our shipmates have to say, Jeff.
Okay. Do you want me to show the other questions in case people have?
Is there another question too? Yeah, another card?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So if here's one question for you.
How has your relationship with food changed?
Okay. And I know showed that one before, but then also,
What is one thing you wish you'd asked your doctor before starting GLP-1? Oh, that's a great question. Okay.
and also,
What is one thing you can share about your own journey regarding dosing up?
okay, so that might plant some seeds in some people's heads, and we'll go
Yeah.
into the comments, and maybe people that want to answer these questions, then we'll get to those at the end
Yeah.
of the list here.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Let's go see what our shipmates have to
Let
say,
me
Jeff.
get back to here, and then let's go to comments. Are you ready?
Yep. I'm
Okay.
ready.
I'm gonna let you start off.
All right. Hey, where'd my glasses go? They're not on my head.
No.
They're not on my head. All right. Let's go. Whee.
Okay,
Hey, and we got Chalky, and he says, evening from damp, windy old England, everyone. Even Gita. And I love Chalky. He is definitely a comedian. Chalky says, the Mounjaro has really been working for me this last month. Yay! I mainly use them to help with my type 2 diabetes. They stop me running to the loo every 5 minutes. But with stress eating, my weight has been both up and down. And you know, mine too, Chalky. I've eaten a little bit more this week, I think, than I normally do because it's been a stressful week waiting for my medical test.
You want either of these?
Sure. That's better.
Okay.
And Chalky also has a win to share. But I'm also delighted to report for the first time in 2 years this week, with God's grace, I seem to have it under control. I'm sleeping better. Yay! And the weight is falling off. Oh, Chalky, sleep is so very important. Almost every time that I've lost a pound, it's when I've gotten at least 7 hours of sleep, which doesn't happen often enough. But when I do, the number on the scale is able to go down a little bit. There's a lot happening when you're sleeping. It also your cortisol is being released and scrubbed away out of your body. And if
Stress
you're
hormone.
Yeah, which is a stress hormone. Whereas if you're not getting enough sleep, that cortisol can build up and then it's harder to lose weight. So
For
I'm
me,
glad you're getting some sleep.
When I'm sleeping, you know what I'm not doing?
What are you not doing?
Eating.
Hey, there's that too. And yep, sleep really is one of the keys to weight loss. Okay. And
Wait.
Chalky says, no, that was
Did you
me.
do that one?
That was me.
Okay.
Chalky says, really been looking forward to watching tonight, but only to see what shirt Jeff's wearing. The smart money is on Sesame Street themed. Yeah, he's wearing his Biosphere 2. We got that
At Biosphere 2.
At Biosphere 2. And I
Southern
think,
Arizona, down by Tucson.
I don't even know if we were married yet. We might have been engaged. I was taking a college class, and it was part of my field trip that I had to go, and you went with me.
Wasn't this your engagement present to me?
No, I actually got him a dresser. Was his a dresser for his clothes that matched my dresser. That was his wedding gift from me. But yeah, Biosphere is pretty cool.
It would be hard to transform Mars, though.
Yeah, a little bit. We should get a Sesame Street shirt because we like.
I have Sesame Street ties.
That's right, you do.
In honor of Chalky.
In honor of Chalky. Okay, Jeff's gonna go get his Sesame Street tie for you, Chalky. Hey, and we got Cindy in the house. Yay! And how did your week work out? He asked. Oh, it's been a weird week. But I didn't gain or lose weight. I did the usual up and down the same 2 or 3 pounds. And Chalky says, I think Gina is just dressing Jeff, so it'll be a few more minutes before she comes on. Oh my goodness. Hey, we got Mounjaro Journey with Pam in the house. Woo woo. And everybody's saying hi to each other. And I'm so glad I have Barb, Health at Any Cost, here because I talked about her positively a few times here. So I'm glad she was able to hear it and to be able to help us too. She is just a wealth of information. And again, everyone's saying hi. Hey, we got Traveling Tea here too. She says, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Yay. And Black Squirrel's in the house. And Chalky wants to know, hi, Pam, how's your week been too? And Chalky says, does anyone else save used Mounjaro peds? I have 24 of them so far, all used. When I get enough, I'm going to be gluing them together in the shape of a fat guy and passing it off as art. Oh, Chalky, I know that we're not supposed to throw them away because they have a needle in it, and it is touched our body. So it's not supposed to. You're not supposed to throw them away in the trash can. I have a big box in my anchor room full of pens. I've got over 100 pens in that box. I wouldn't say the full 110 pens because when I travel in our RV, there are sometimes at Love's truck stops, there's a box in the bathroom that you can dispose of needles and medical supplies like that. And so some of mine have gone there, but I have a ton of them. That would be funny to do artwork with them. But I do have a bunch because I keep thinking at some point you can buy something on Amazon, I think, that you can put all your diabetic needle stuff in and then ship it somewhere where they know how to safely dispose of it. And I haven't done it yet. So right now I just have a big box of used pens in my anchor room. And Chalky says, Jeff, I actually give a lecture on Biosphere 2 in 1995 at the University in London. Wow. All right, Chalky. If you come to the United States to visit us, let us know. Biosphere 2 is in Tucson, Arizona, and we'll go with you. And we'll walk around there with you. And that's a promise. But you have to let me know in advance because once I get these medical tests done and they tell me that I'm fine and this was a nothing burger, I'll be leaving again and I'll be going on trips where I wouldn't be in Arizona for a couple of months at a time. But if you give me enough advance notice that you're coming, we'll go to Biosphere 2 with you. I think you'd really love it. It's pretty cool. And that'd be really neat, especially since you've given a lecture on it. Now, Mounjaro Journey with Pam says, hey, Jeff, your t-shirt, the Biosphere 2, University of Arizona, is this the big biosphere globe that a documentary was made of where they had people living there and they couldn't use any outside media to get their food? Yeah, they had to eat only what they could grow inside the biosphere. Yeah, that is the place. That is absolutely the place. And globe with all the plants. Yep, and they grow lots of plants in there. And Barb, Health at Any Cost, says, Chalky, I had over 200 of them until I moved. Yes, I have a whole art project of photos of pens, vials, and needles. I even have a pen bouquet photo on my wall. And I've seen that because I visited Barb last year. And I got to see in her room her pen bouquet. And it actually was really pretty. Barb's quite the artist. She's good at a lot of things. And Pam says, Chalky had a great week. Pam had a great week. She's telling Chalky, thank you. Missing the beach this weekend, but I'll be there next weekend. Hey, Pam, Mounjaro Journey with Pam. Jeff and I are talking that if I do have a bad result of my medical exam, that instead of going all the way to Florida, because it's 31 hours from my house to Barb's house, that maybe we could do a short trip to California, just like 3 or 4 days. So hopefully I'll be able to see you at some point. See, he does. Look at that, Chalky. Look at Jeff's tie. He does have a Sesame Street tie. Yeah, Jeff used to teach kindergarten, first grade, second grade,
and I was a media specialist, which was kind of like half computer lab guy, half library guy, elementary. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love that tie. He also has a Cat in the Hat tie that's super cute.
Yeah, not Sesame Street.
But not Sesame Street. Yeah. And Chalky says, I've never been able to tolerate more than the 2.5 milligrams.
Wow.
They have tried 4 times, but I just get too sick.
Wow.
Wow, Chalky, I did not know that. So yeah, Chalky's been on 2.5 for 2 years. Wow. And for me, I don't get really sick at all unless I have more than 2. Well, if I have 2 alcohol, I can have 1 drink of alcohol with dinner, but I can't have 2. If I have 2, I wake up in the middle of the night with gastric emptying, which is not fun. And that's happened to me twice. After that second big spanking, I knew I can't do this again. And my first big spanking, no alcohol. It was the first week that I was on 5 milligrams. And so to go from 2.5 to 5 and only doing 2.5 for 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks because of my 4th shot breaking. And so then I just went with the 5 milligram right away. And I ate something heavy and very full of fat. And it gave me gastric emptying without alcohol. So I've only had that happen 3 times, but wow. So only 2.5 milligrams, but hey, it's doing its stuff. And it's so cool that you don't need that much. And Barb says, so amusingly, I went from Trulicity, which is called dulaglutide. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Maybe. To starting Mounjaro at 10 milligrams. Oh, wow. So they started you up higher. 2 months later, I was on 15 milligrams and have stayed there. And Barb does really well on the 15 milligrams. And Barb says, it is not the best idea to float the doses randomly because, especially for diabetics, we must keep our glucoses stable. The meds do much more than weight loss. That is just a tiny bit of the voyage. Thank you, Barb. So Barb was answering the question that Jeff asked, that if you're on to break a stall, should you go down for a little bit and then, for a few weeks and then bounce back up again? Would that help break the stall?
Well, any sort of titration, you still need to talk to your doctor.
Oh, always. Always. You would talk to your doctor and
try
ask.
Moving up or whatever, right?
Right. But Barb says for people who are diabetics, that is really a bad idea. And that's a great reason to say why that's a bad idea. That makes sense, Barb. And I have never done that. I stay at one level for many months. And then when I've had a many month stall, then my doctor titrates me up. And then I'm on that for a while before I titrate up again.
But you talk to your doctor.
Oh, absolutely. It's my doctor that makes those decisions with me. And sounds like a plan, Pam, says Jockey. Hey, we got Robin Lockwood in the house. She says, I'm here now. And Barb says, if we float the doses around, our kidneys, our liver, our pancreas, and inflammation goes up and down too. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you, Barb, for that does make sense. And so that is fantastic advice there. So yeah, I'm just going to hold steady with my 15 milligrams. I love it. It works well for me. And just call it good. And Barb says, Robin, for crying out loud, woman, text me. You know what? Robin has a new phone number and she's been having some issues. So she has been trying to text you because she texts me. And she said, I haven't heard from Barb. I wonder if she's getting him. So yeah, she really has been trying, Barb. And Robin says, I have been. I don't get why it doesn't reach you. I'll go right now. And Mounjaro Journey with Pam says, I'm so happy that my 10-year-old grandson wanted to walk this weekend. Oh, he had a goal of 10,000 steps. His pediatrician said his weight is too high in the 95th percentile and high cholesterol. Oh, dear. Well, I'm glad he's walking with you, Pam, and that he's got a good grandma who would do that with him. So we all walked yesterday and today. And Pam lives in California, close to the ocean, so where she can do that. And I cannot wait to visit you at some point, Pam. And I want to go walking on the beach with you. That is on my bucket list. Go walking on the beach with Pam. And Pam says, he got us outside at 8:30 or 9 in the morning. Yeah, those kids, they wake up early and they're just ready. They're ready to roll. And Barb says, the GIP also works on our BMs. With chemo, there is often diarrhea. on GIP, there is a slowdown of BMs. So I'm hoping it balances out to normal poop again. We shall see. Yeah. So you were right. We were both right, Jeff. So you were right.
I read that someplace.
That chemo can give you diarrhea and being on a GLP-1 would help to,
Maybe I read that from something you wrote earlier.
Possibly, because I read a lot of Barb stuff too, and I read so much of it, then I don't remember for sure which one, but that is good to know, Barb. And also the stopping of throwing up, though. So that's my big thing. I get diarrhea every now and again, and when I do, for me, as someone who's grown up constipated, I'm always thrilled. It feels good to get everything out of. It's like, oh, thank God, I'm finally releasing everything in my intestines, But I never like throwing up. Oh, that's the worst. And that was one of my concerns. I was afraid to start a GLP-1 because I heard it could do that to you. And I thought, oh, I hate having the flu. If it makes me feel like having the flu all the time, I don't want to do it. And then I realized, hey, no one's putting a gun to my head. I could start a GLP-1 journey, and maybe I'll be one of the lucky ones that doesn't feel like throwing up when I'm on it. And then I'll be glad I took it. But if I do a lot of where it feels like the flu every day, I'll just stop taking it and tell my doctor, we got to do something else. But I refuse to take this medication because they can't put a gun to my head and make me do it. It's
Elmo say, need to take the pills and shots. Don't take Elmo's not a doctor either.
That's right. You got to talk to your doctor. But yeah, you can give it a try and then talk to your doctor and get advice. But that's good to know that that's another way that GLP-1s help people who are battling cancer. And Pam says, that sounds good, Barb. Yeah, it really does. Then people are saying hi to each other. And Barb says, email me your phone number, Robin. It isn't coming through. That's so weird. And Juanita's in the house. Woo woo. Hey, Juanita. And Barb's email is health@anycost@gmail.com. And if anyone here has cancer and is taking a GLP-1, please also reach out to Barb. Barb is doing a lab study of one. So she's going to be able to give her doctors and people information about how the GLP-1s are helping her on her cancer journey. And she would just love to have some other friends that you guys could be friends together and support one another on what your journey is like battling cancer while taking a GLP-1. So also reach out to Barb. And it's okay that I'm saying this because Barb did a 5-minute video on health at any cost, asking people to share with them friends that they know of that are doing both. And Mounjaro Journey with Pam says, I've discovered I've been charged for 2 years of Audible and have credits. So I guess I'll get the Audible on this book. It's really good. And you know what? It's really the doctor reading it to you. I love it when it's truly the author reading the book because you really hear it in their voice. And I like that. And she does a really good job. She's easy to listen to. She has a cute accent, but very, very easy. Very, very easy to understand her. And Jeff keeps telling me he wants me to do an Audible version of my book, and he's going to help me with that. So if I don't get to do my trip, I'm going to do that with my book in the very near future as well. And Chalky says, thank you so very, very much, Gina, for sharing my bottom issues with the group in public. You're welcome, Chalky. We're all friends here, We're all friends. There's no secret amongst us friends. And health at any cost.
Elmo say you're welcome. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. And Barb says, Mounjaro Journey with Pam. Holy cow, woman, grab it. It is fantastic on Audible. It really is a fantastic book on Audible. Hey, we got Frankly Michelle in the house. And Frankly Michelle is the reason we're reading this book. She knew it was coming out before I did. And so she messaged me. She was the one who told me about food intelligence before it came out and said, Gina, you should do this book next on your weight loss book club. And I was like, sounds good to me. I looked it up and it was great and we loved it. And then Michelle reached out and said, hey, Weightless is coming out and it's going to be wonderful too. And that's why we're doing this one. And then when we're done with that one, you guys, if that wasn't enough, our next book that we're going to be doing on our book club.
Finally enough.
Yeah, it's finally enough. Enough by Oprah Winfrey. We'll be doing next. And it does take us a while. We're a weight loss book club for busy people. So we just do one chapter a week because that's easy. We could do one chapter and do some deep dives. All right, let's see what else we got. And frankly, Michelle says it's very windy in Florida right now. And Pam says, I just made an appointment with Nourish. Oh, okay.
What is that?
I'm not entirely sure.
Sounds nourishing.
Yeah. Let us know, Pam, exactly what that is. And Nourish is covered by my insurance too. Oh, good.
Is that like with a counselor or something like that to guide you, or like a registered
dietitian maybe? I wonder if that's like a registered dietitian kind of thing, Nourish. And Pam says, my doctor has only sent me for the bone density DEXA scan. Okay. And Barb says, Michelle, my bell. Yes, windy is all get out. Bring in more cold. And Michelle says, hi, Pam. Just saw you on Downsizing Diva. Oh, cool. We'll have to check that out. And frankly, Michelle says, Barb, going to be cold when you are here. Today I was lazy. Did not get out of my nightgown today. Allie loved that. Oh, I love pajama days. Sometimes it's fun just to be in your pajamas all day long, read a book, watch a chick flick, and just chill. You know, we all deserve time to just kick back and chill every now and again. And Barb says, sighing, I know, cold again. We'll walk around the hospital inside. And frankly, Michelle says, we will figure it out. Yes. And frankly, Michelle is just the most wonderful friend. She's one of my favorite shipmates, you guys. She is wonderful. And she's helping out Barb. Barb's going to be staying with her in Tampa while she's having some of her procedures done. And Michelle has been a guest on my show. So if you want to see and listen to her journey, and she has lost, I think the last time I talked to her was over 130 pounds on either Mounjaro or Zepbound. So anyway, she's a super, super neat lady. And Pam says, I had to do lower body strength training while I recovered from the ab surgery. And I'm finally doing more arm work. Been doing the daily 50 every day now, and I see the rewards. Wow. Oh, that's great. Yeah, she's also, and Pam has a really great YouTube channel, so check it out. And she's been doing a 50-day challenge where she does 50 things. She does like 10 push-ups, 10 lunges, 10 squats. There's 5 things that she does 10 of to make 50 things done every day. And she has little videos of her doing that are kind of fun to watch, that you could do it with her if you'd like. And frankly, Michelle says, Gina, I can always tell on my body pod when I did not do my strength training. Yeah. I mean, because it'll tell you. It will tell you. And your numbers, your muscle really does go down when you stop doing the strength training. And then as soon as you pick up and start doing it again, then your muscle numbers go up. So I know that machine really works. Working out on machines work, but the Hume Body Pod really is doing a good job of sending that little bit of electricity through you to let you know how much fat and muscles that you have. Start every live with a Jeff dad joke. Oh, that would be good. You. And he appreciates that because he's just full of them. And Barb says, I've started walking at 6:30 in the morning again. Yay. Because if I delay it, I try to talk myself out of it. The longer I sit on my butt. So getting up and getting out makes me feel so much happier and better. It does. And it gives you endorphins. You know, it really sets off the endorphins. It helps release cortisol from the stress hormone from your body. Walking is fabulous. And for me too, I like sometimes walking at night with Jeff because, you know, in Arizona, the sun is just, oh, I would either have to go early in the morning or late at night. Well, not late at night, but once the sun goes down, because
That
the
works the
sun
best.
really beats on us. But I like even walking at the end of the day and de-stressing before I get ready for bed is really nice with Jeff too. Mounjaro Journey with Pam says, I slowly walk at 6:30 a.m. too. All right. And Frankly Michelle says, I'm at work already by 6:30. Wow, that's early. And Pam says, I still love food too. I'm scared of carbs, so I'm careful with them. And Chalky says, yes, food was my happy place. Yeah. And yeah, for me, it was just love. That's how my family shared their love is by cooking you a good meal. And Pam says, oops, I'm barely waking up at 6:30. I hit the snooze for 5 minutes. Then I start work at 9. Oh, okay. And frankly, Michelle says, I used food to cope. Happy, sad, excited, or angry, I would eat. I no longer do this. I don't even think of doing this. Isn't that
That's
amazing?
great.
And I did too. When I said I was an emotional eater, it was for all the emotions, the happy ones too, the celebratory ones, as well as sad, mad, stressed, whatever. But yeah, I was an equal opportunity emotional eater. And Barb says, I'm up much earlier than 6:30, but I like walking as the sun rises, home by the time it is over the horizon. Wow, that's really neat to be able to see all those sunrises.
Sunrise is nice.
Yeah. And sometimes it's really spectacularly beautiful. Yeah, and that's what Pam says. It sounds beautiful, Barb. And Michelle says, that is a beautiful time. I usually walk after work to help me unwind for the day, and it really helps unwind. And Barb says, most of that is strategic to stay out of the sun. Yep. And Pam says, so I use my inside equipment. Yep, inside equipment works too. And Robin says, Barb, I'm not sure which one to message you on. Oh, she's still trying to figure out how to be able to communicate. And Barb says, email me your phone number, health@anycost@gmail.com. And Chalky says, that's me too, Michelle. Food was everything from one restaurant to the next and snacks between. It's still a struggle. I understand that, Chalky, because it's still a little bit for me. Not as much as it used to be. Oh my gosh, it's so much better than it used to be. But it's still there. It's still there a little bit. And frankly, Michelle says, I'll be going to the Netherlands on the 6th of March. Wow, that's so exciting. Interested to see my interest in their food. They have a lot of fried food. Yep. So just have to think portion size, and I think you'll be okay. And she says, Chalky, see, that has turned off for me because it's Ian Chalky. So I think that's Chalky she's talking to. And Mindy says, hi, everyone. Hey, we got Mayor Mindy in the house. Woo, woo. The mayor has been busy on these GLP-1 streets, joining late, but I'm glad you're here with us, Mindy. And Robin says, I eat everything, but the portion size is twice as less now. Oh, it's half the size. My grocery bill is way down too. Yeah, you don't need as many groceries. And I think we'll see a difference in our grocery bill, Jeff, if you were to start a GLP-1 as well. If we were both on it, it'd be kind of interesting to see what happens. But we still have to see medically if that'll work for him and what our insurance will pay for, because he does not have type 2 diabetes at the moment. And frankly, Michelle says, hi, Mindy. And Mindy Lou Sue. And Mindy says, hi to everybody. We love Mayor Mindy. It's so nice to have her in the house. So we're all saying hi to her. And then Pam says, I still have true hunger, but I like that type of feeling because I can recognize it as real hunger and not hard hunger. Yes. I had that yesterday. I realized, oh my gosh, I haven't had dinner. I am like truly hungry right now, because I don't often hear my stomach growl anymore. It's rare. It's rare for me to hear that, but it did hit me yesterday. And so fortunately I had some 3-bean soup that I was able to heat up right away and have some dinner. But I thought, well, that's a good thing because that means I'm truly hungry and it's truly time to eat. And Michelle says, I don't drink coffee anymore. It doesn't interest me, but I love herbal tea. Yeah. And my dad, he's like, ah. And I'm like, how can you smell all this coffee, Dad, and not want any? And how can you smell this cinnamon roll and not want any? How could you stand in front of the bacon and flip the bacon and make the bacon and not want even a quarter of a piece, just a bite or two? That just was shocking to me. I'm like, wow, because Mounjaro isn't strong enough for me that I wouldn't want it when I see it and smell it and touch it, you know? And Ian White Chalky says, hugs to everyone. And Robin says, okay, Barb, sent you a tester. Pam says, I enjoy the dopamine hits from walking and exercise now. Yeah, because there's a lot of other things in life that can give us joy other than just food. And yeah, and there is a hit where you feel good when you're done exercising. And Robin says, hi. And Chalky says, it's so hard to give up the food drug. Absolutely. And Barb says, Robin, you didn't send me your phone number. Oh, wait, sorry. And Robin says, love your curls, Gina. Jeff looks good too. Oh, thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. And Pam says, I've heard some people lose the taste for things. Not me. I still like a bold, strong coffee in the morning with protein drink. Yeah, my coffee is half protein drink and half coffee. But I've always liked a creamy coffee, but it makes it really nice. So I know all the calories in it are good for me. Oh, I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels more normal now. Yep, absolutely. And Mindy says, totally unrelated, but I'm loving those anchor earrings, Gina. Jeff gave these to me as a present after I wrote my Anchor Moments Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness book. Yeah, I really love them too. They have real pearly stuff inside, and it's real silver and stuff too. Most of my earrings are
costume.
Thank you. Costume jewelry. That's why we laughed so hard when when Jeff was worried that I was never allowed to let anyone know if we weren't going to be home, because he's like, what if someone robs us? And Chalky's response was, what, you got gold bars behind that clock? And we had to laugh so hard because most of my jewelry is costume jewelry. We have nothing of value in this house. I guess I've got that box of 110 old shots.
That's an art project just waiting to
just an art project. Yeah. Maybe it'll be in the Smithsonian someday. Oh gosh. But actually these earrings, but they wouldn't be in the house anyway, because I bring them with me when I travel because I love them. It was a sweet gift from Jeff. And frankly, Michelle says, I wished I asked my doctor for instructions. He gave me nothing, but I don't think he knew the answer. Yeah, because we've been on it long enough. I just know this. Oh, there was another part in the book. She says in chapter 5 that when you talk to your doctor, one of the things, discuss is how much weight should you be shooting for to lose? I
highlighted that too.
Yeah, how much weight should you lose? And it's funny. It was my doctor of 35 years who retired. Dang it, he retired on me. But I had him for 35 years, and he was the one who told me about Mounjaro. And he told me, Gina, I could have had it the first week Mounjaro came out, you guys, because he was watching it, waiting for it to come out. And the second he did, he told me, this would be a great medication for you. There are people with type 2 diabetes who have lost 50 pounds on Mounjaro in the medical trials. And I remember thinking, 50 pounds? I just can't imagine ever being able to get 50 pounds off and keep it off. That would be amazing to me. And then, my insurance didn't cover it. It was going to be $1,400 a month. So I had to wait a year for my insurance to finally go, okay, you're diabetic, we'll pay for it for you. But that's what my doctor then, when he prescribed it for me, he didn't say, let's shoot for blah, blah, blah as your number. He just said, let's try it. And I had a patient portal. So even though we didn't meet very often, we would just meet every 6 months. He said, if you have any problems, any questions, anything, just put it in the patient portal, and I will respond to you. And he's always done that. So I always know that I have his ear if I need him. That usually within 24 hours, but it depends if it's the weekend, it could be 48 hours or whatever, but he would get back to me. So I could tell him if there was an issue, if I was having any issues, but we never talked about a number per se, other than when he planted that seed in my brain that
About
there was a
50
possibility
pounds.
I could lose 50 pounds. And it's funny because that's what I've lost. It's taken me 2 years, but I've lost 50 pounds while taking Mounjaro. And I used to be worried really a lot about it, that, I still have so much more weight I need to lose, that I'm still considered obese and all that kind of stuff. And there's more weight I'd like to get off, but I am so happy. I really lost 50 pounds and kept it off. You know yourself best is what
That's
Jeff.
the part you're talking about.
Yeah, from the book.
Where she would have her patients sit down and tell them, well, what do you think what weight have you been most comfortable at during your adult life? And often it's about right within a pound or two of what she would recommend.
Yeah. So anyway.
Based on the body composition analysis.
Yeah. Well, for me, it just feels like a miracle that I have these 50 pounds off. Like a miracle that I got 50 pounds off, and it stays off. I had a very emotional week this last week. And I even had to tell Jeff, hey, I want you to know I really love you. But if you criticize me about something this week, I might bite your head off. And I'm just warning you in advance, because my balloon is full, and it's full of a lot of emotions. And I don't want to yell at you, but I know there's a possibility I might. And so if I yell at you, just know that I love you, and you got to give me a little space, because it won't take much to pop my balloon.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so you don't want to pop my balloon. And when I'm talking about this balloon, I do have a video about it. It's on our Anchor Moments RV YouTube channel. But I interviewed a lady who started a nonprofit called Soul Shop. And she teaches kids how to give a 5-step apology and how to have emotional intelligence. And if you, when you have stress, your life is like a balloon. And when you have stress, it starts to get full. And then the more stress you get, the fuller and fuller and fuller it gets. And sometimes it's just a little something when your balloon's already full and someone does just one last little thing to aggravate you, your balloon can pop. And when it pops, you might want to feel like you're going to hit somebody or really act out or yell and scream. And instead, what you want to do is monitor, to realize as you feel your balloon filling up, to take some tools out of your tool belt that'll help you deflate that balloon some. And one of the things is to go for a walk. A little exercise can help deflate your balloon. Chatting with a friend can help you deflate your balloon, but you don't want to, hit somebody.
I don't want you to hit me
yeah,
either.
and I don't want to hit Jeff. I've never hit Jeff. I wouldn't hit Jeff, but not
on purpose.
Not on purpose. He's always ducking and weaving, but I had to let him know. And it was nice that Vicky from Soul Shop gave me the words as an adult. There's all the advice that she had that she gives kids about giving an apology and using your I statements when your feelings are hurt. All of that advice works for adults the same as it works for kids. And so she gave me the words to tell Jeff that my balloon feels pretty full this week. And just be careful. Just be careful. and be extra kind to me this week until I get my results back, because my balloon feels pretty full. And if you can go for a walk with me, that'll really help too. Anything I can do, I'm trying to do things to try to deflate my balloon without having it pop. But there's that fear that it might pop, and I don't want to pop at him, because I really do love him and I know he means well. And half the time it's a dad joke. But I'm just having to let him, you got to be a little careful this week and be a little extra gentle. Save that dad joke for next week, because my balloon might pop. Oh, but lots of emotions. Oh, goodness. All right. And Robin says, and alcohol's not a big deal for me either. In fact, it makes me sick the next day. Way worse than before. I can party like a rock star. I can't recover anymore like one. I hear you, Robin. I can no longer party like a rock star anymore either on a GLP-1. One drink is all I can do a day. And I don't do it every day. I mean, just, if I'm at a social drinking occasion, I can have one with everybody else, but I can't have two. Or, whoo, it makes me crazy sick. And Pam says, I took at least 2 months before titrating up. Then once I got to 10, my physician's assistant and I decided to stay there because it worked. And that's around the time I heard from Countess of Shopping to try not to. Yeah, I heard from her too. She said, don't titrate up too fast. You got time. Yep. Just take your time. If you're losing weight on the particular level you're on, stay on that level. There's no reason to go up. You don't go up until, you've been stuck for a long time. Then you talk to your doctor about going up. And Pam says, yeah, I got sick when I had a hot toddy. Yeah, and hot toddies have alcohol in them. And yet that'd do it. And Pam says, and some foods upset my stomach, but it's the greasy food. So that's good. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what happened to me the one time that I didn't have alcohol with it, but the food was just too heavy, too calorie dense, and I had too much of it. And I can still have that particular food. I can still have it now, but I have to have a very small portion. And if I have a small portion of it and have some vegetables or some fruit with it and not alcohol, I'm fine and I'm good. But I can't have a big, huge slice of it. And Michelle says, as my sister starts this, I'm giving her advice not to rush dosing up. That's great advice, Michelle. She is so quick to want to, excited for results, but not quite understanding to take full advantage of each dose.
This would be a really good chapter for her.
Oh, yeah. Have her get this book and be sure, tell her to read chapter 5 twice.
Well, it's a very good chapter.
Because it's a good chapter. It is the chapter that we all need when we're taking our very first dose. And Pam says, I hope she takes your advice, Michelle. Me too. Hey, Cindy, Tez the Bulldog's mom's in the house. Woohoo! And Pam says, I have so many boxes to take to the medical supply waste facility. Oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have so many. And Cindy says, talk to your doctor's office. You can dispose them there. It depends on the doctor's office. But call your doctor's office and see. I've got to ask mine too. And Robin Lockwood says, I've also noticed bean with bacon soup or refried beans, I feel like I'm going to blow up. Gas and those sulfur burps. I know I should eat the gas X stuff, but I haven't had too much issues from it. Hair came into my mouth. Okay. And Grant, and I do like Gas X. It does help me if I've eaten something that was a little iffy in my tummy. And Grant says, sorry, late joining. We're okay. We're glad you're here, Grant. And yep. And Cindy saying hi. And Robin says, I miss those crazy costume entrances. I know. Did you see this one?
Wait. Me, Elmo misses them too.
Jeff put that on his tie on for Chalky. And Michelle says, Chalky, is it still working for you 2.5? It's a good question. And Pam says, yes, Gina. Not that I want you to have to go through it, but yes, whichever works out. And maybe I can come closer since my town is not fabulous. And she is LOL. Yeah, well, we'll meet somewhere along the ocean that we can find a place that we can park our van, Pam. And I'm an elk now. And I checked, and there's all kinds of elk lodges in California and Oregon. So I can stay as an elk at in their parking lot. So there's a lot of them that are by the ocean. So hopefully there'll be one not too far away from you. And, you know, we can have a beer, just one, and we can go walking along the ocean when I come out to visit you. And Pam says the beaches are nice, though. Yeah, I just love the ocean. And Chalky says, in England, our injection pens have 4 doses.
Oh, how interesting.
The needles are screw on each week. So it's just 1 pen a month. Hey, and he said, and he loves the tie, Jeff.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And Michelle says, the one thing I liked about my primary is that he insisted that I stay at all doses for 3 months, except the 2.5. This, I think, helped me. Yeah. I'm on 12.5 and have been for like 4 months. I like this dose. And, you know, and Michelle's lost over 130 pounds. So she's doing great. And yeah, so no reason to go to 15 while 12.5's working on you. And Pam says, yes, a walk on the beach would be amazing. Yeah, so we're doing it, Pam. And if things come back great and I don't have any issues, that medical issue was a nothing burger, we'll be going to Florida and I'll be hanging out with Michelle and Barb and some other peeps and my mom and stepdad and that kind of thing, and visit my cousin Danny and everybody. But I will be going to California maybe this summer because we haven't hit the West Coast yet. So we do want to hit California, Oregon, and Washington. So so either this summer or maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to see you. Just kind of depends on my health. And Cindy says, I won't be there. I will be here in Tennessee, but you're welcome to it. Hey, Cindy, I'll be going to Tennessee at some point here too. And I definitely want to see you there and visit you. And Michelle says, Pam, I did Audible for Weightless. It was good. Yeah. Because
like it.
It's a really nice Audible version. And Pam says, Nourish is the registered dietitian. Okay, that's what we were wondering. Yep. And I use Southwest Dietitian Group, and I have 2 different dietitians that have done shows with me here. And I have a playlist about dietitian shows. So you can also, people can check them out too, because they're also available telehealth as well as visiting them in person if you live in Arizona. And Pam says, oh, cool. She had 2 videos and interviews with me. My experiences, and then the lipedema and lymphedema came out on Friday. Oh yeah. And because I don't have the lymphedema with the LYM, but I have the lip one, the LIP one. And I have a playlist on that too. All kinds of goofy issues. And Pam says, thanks, Michelle. I'm going to get to it. And Pam says, yes, come do the daily 50 with me. And I'm modifying planks and push-ups. It really works. Oh, good. Yeah, because I have to do the modified push-up too. I like to do it when Jeff and I go on our walk in the springs. There's a park bench that's cemented to the ground. And then I lean against the park bench and do push-ups on it when Jeff and I do our walk. I like the modified ones. And Grant says, hey, and saying hi to everybody. And of course, Jeff and I too. Hey, Grant. And everyone's saying they love Grant because we do. Hey, you guys, Grant, let me go back to Grant real quick. Grant has a brand new YouTube channel. He, and I love saying, the first time he was ever a guest on someone's show, it was my show. I got to have Grant first. Woo woo. And Grant is so cute. He's been on so many shows. A bunch of us who have GLP-1 YouTube channels, Grant has been a guest on. And I was talking to Grant and I said, you need to do a playlist like Mindy has on hers, and just, all these places that you've been so people can find them, be a nice little legacy piece for you. And then he did it. And then a few days later, he's like, hey, tell me more about starting my own channel. So I've been coaching him a little bit because he's just precious.
So there is the...
and so his thing is, his YouTube channel is Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. Go check it out. Give him a like. He's really close. If he hasn't hit 100, he's pretty close. And the second he gets 100 subscribers, he can do lives. And he'll be talking about his GLP-1 journey, which he's lost over 80 pounds. And he also has a child that is experiencing autism. And he's going to be talking about that too, and which would be helping out a lot of other parents who have children that have experienced autism. So he's got a lot of different things he'll be talking about. And he's a really neat Christian guy. Just love him. He works for his church and he's a music director there, but super great guy. And so check in. He'll have a really great channel. I'm excited that he's doing it. And everybody loves him, including Barb. And frankly, Michelle says, I hit 135 pounds down today. Woo-hoo! Wow, 51.5% of her body weight is gone. I am fine with where my weight is, but I want to lose 4 or 5 more fast pounds and then be done.
Oh, fast pounds.
She says fast, but
yeah. No,
but whichever. You never know.
His glasses.
Yeah, but she could have been meaning that. It's hard to say with autocorrects. And Grant says, saw that on your Facebook post today. That's great, Michelle. Yeah, congratulations. 135 pounds. That's amazing. And Michelle says, I still love the smell of coffee. At work, I tell my neighbor to go make herself coffee so I can smell it. She just doesn't like the taste of it anymore. And Barb says, I can do all the things you are describing your dad does. It's meh. If I want it, I'll eat it. If I don't, no biggie. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's part of the difference, where some people can be more of a super responder and others can't, because if I smell it, I want to taste it. If I'm making bacon, I don't have to have more than a piece. You know, sometimes even a half a piece and I'm good, but I still want to taste it. It doesn't take it enough away from me that's not interesting while I'm seeing it, touching it, smelling it, tasting it. 2 words, microwave bacon. I have microwave bacon before too. I have, where you can just do 1 piece at a time. And Pam says, Grant, we make that microwave bacon from Costco. Oh yeah. You could do, I love Costco. Jeff and I were just talking about that the other day. He's like, when we were in our bedroom, he's like, look around the bedroom, Gina. Almost everything we have in here, including our sheets, came from Costco.
Our furniture.
Everything. Our appliances.
Our pillows.
Our sheets. We love Costco, and they don't sponsor us. They should, though. Almost everything in our house is from there. And Robin says, I used to make cookies and cake for dinner desserts and never eat any. Wow. So I get with the bacon and your dad. Oh my gosh, yeah. If I'm making cookies and cake, I'm gonna have a bite. I'm gonna have at least one. But I don't have to eat, half the cake. I don't need to eat 5 cookies. I could have 1 cookie and be done, which is different for me, but I still have to have that at least one. And Michelle says, Jeff, anchor earrings, such a sweet. I know, wasn't that a sweet gift? He gave that to me after my book came out. Bless his heart. And Grant says, loving the tie today, Jeff. Oh, great. Yeah, me too.
I'm going to love it too.
Yeah. And Pam says, yes, love the tie and dress shirt. Yeah, it's not very often he does this.
I put on the tie on another shirt, and this is a crummy shirt. I'll just wear a nice shirt with it. So.
Yeah.
When I taught kindergarten, I wore all kinds of ties, like Gina said, cat in the hat, 1 fish, 2 fish.
Oh, that's
red fish,
right.
blue fish.
You had that tie too.
Yeah.
Oh, and Robin Lockwood says, Grant, announce your showtime, etc. for tonight. Oh, and Grant says, I have a live tonight starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. So then you have your 100 subscribers now. Yay. So having at least 100. And so 8 p.m. Eastern, that'd be 6 o'clock our time. We're going to have to, that's in 3 hours, Jeff. All right, set that on your alarm. I want to be there for him for his first live and write in the comments for him. So yeah, everybody, in 3 hours, let's pop on Grant's live and see what he has. 8 o'clock Eastern, which is 6 o'clock Arizona. And Barb says, so many lives come at my bedtime. Oh, I know. Sorry, Barb. And Michelle says, L is so important. So many adults don't have it. L, what do you think? L is so important. So many adults don't have it.
I do not know.
It's probably an autocorrect. Something is
Uh-huh.
important that many adults don't have it. Michelle says, Barb, same. Anything after 8, I may start it, but more than likely already in bed. If I start it, it will definitely be asleep pretty quickly. And Barb says, I just replay it double speed kind of gal now. I think Mayor Mindy does that sometimes too, and she'll do double speed. But hey, that's a great way to be able to listen to a lot of stuff. And Michelle says, I'll listen, Grant, on my way to the office tomorrow.
Oh.
Great. And Barb says, Grant has a regular cadence of 1.5 speed. He's got a sweet long drawl. I need to listen faster. And I already talk fast. So then you have to hear it. I'd be super fast.
Yeah,
And,
don't listen to her.
Maybe slow me down.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And Grant says, gotta love this West Virginia accent. Yep. Oh, and his wife. Oh, my gosh. Christy has the cutest accent ever. She is so precious. I cannot wait to meet her in person. And Robin says, mine too, Barb. I'm going to fight the Sandman tonight. And Traveling T says, Gina, do you drive the van also? I've only seen Jeff behind the wheel. This is why we are the perfect married couple. Jeff hates being a passenger. He doesn't like anybody's driving but his own. When people give us a ride somewhere, he keeps his mouth shut, but it's hard for him because his eyes are driving even if he's the passenger. And so in the van, every now and again, there'll be a big long strip, like going down Nebraska where it's just flat. And I'll say, hey, Jeff, if you want, I'll drive for a little bit on this. It seems pretty easy. There isn't hardly any traffic at all. And I'll take the wheel. And he said, nope, I will not relax if you're driving this van. No way. I do not want to be your passenger. And you know what? That's a relief for me. I hate driving. I hate it.
But she does know how to drive.
But I do know how to drive.
And she has driven the van.
Yeah.
If it came down to there was an emergency, you can drive the van. Yeah. It's actually pretty easy to drive.
It's just extra long and extra tall.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to get used to that part of it.
Yeah. So we went around when the YMCA was closed on a Sunday, and I drove around the parking lot, and then I had to practice parking. And then I think I took it on Fry Road once. We did this all in one day, just so I would know in case, if he were to have a heart attack or stroke or something, I'd have to take the wheel and drive him to the hospital. But other than that, I wouldn't be driving because he does not like being the passenger.
Well, just call for an ambulance so I don't have to get stressed out.
There you go. Yeah, he'd prefer just call an ambulance and we do it that way. So yeah. So nope, you won't be seeing a lot. We did do a video of me though driving the van. It's a short, I believe, on our Anchor Moments RV channel, and I talked about when you hate driving, you still need to practice just at least once in case there's an emergency and your driver needs you to drive the van. But, and it really wasn't too bad. It feels a lot like driving a car.
Just very tall.
But just very tall.
Very long.
And very long. Yeah. And Grant says, hey, Traveling T. Oh, people are all saying hi to each other. And Cindy says, you missed my comment. You can stay at my house in Newport Beach. If we don't have guests, I'll be there. I won't be there. I'll be in Tennessee. You have a house in Newport Beach? I did miss your comment. And we could stay at your house? Oh, Cindy, email me. Because that would be really lovely. Because we've been talking about that if I do need a surgery, there's usually, they don't just say, oh, we'll do a surgery tomorrow. There's like a little bit of time, but there might not be enough time for me to go all the way to Florida and back. But we could go to Newport Beach. It's only 6 hours from our house to San Diego. So anyway, that would be amazing. Thank you. And thank you for writing it again, because I didn't skip over it on purpose. It was an accident. So thank you for letting me know, but that would be amazing. And Traveling Tea says, hi, Michelle. I'm listening while making a smoothie. Oh, yum. And Cindy says, you are more than welcome to stay at the house or park your van. It's on the beach. Oh my gosh, Cindy, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. And, and if the house was all locked up and stuff, yeah, if I could park my van at your house and sleep in my van and walk to the beach, oh my gosh, that would be the most amazing thing ever. And Pam says, Newport Beach is so beautiful and along the coast south of Santa Monica. Oh, that's really close. That's really close. I love Santa Monica. So we've been there a few times. And Michelle says, it's something better than this New York accent, Grant. Oh, I love your New York.
Better.
It's sure better than your New York accent. Oh, Michelle, I love your New York accent. My grandma was from New York. And my grandma Ceruzzi, and I used to love listening to her accent. And Jane Testa, who's a radiologist, I did a video with her this last week. I met her at Peace, Love, and Vans. She has the same kind of MSCRV as me, and I love listening to her because she reminds me of my grandma. And when I first met her accent. But when I first met her, I knew I'd love her. I mean, she opened her mouth and said like 2 sentences, and I knew, oh, this has got to be one of my friends. And she is now. And I loved interviewing you. I love your accent. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Pam says, Tazzy, what a great investment that is to have a beach house in Newport Beach. Very smart. And Michelle says, I mean 4 to 5 fat pounds. Sorry. So it was fat pounds, not fast pounds. I thought that was probably what you meant.
And if they go away fast, that's
always a good thing.
Too.
Sure. Why not? And Grant says, hey, Downsize just posted an interview video with Mindy. Oh, another Mayor Mindy one. She'll have to add it to her playlist. And Barb says, smelling leading to tasting. Keep it out of the house. Whatever does that to you. Yeah. So that's what we try to do, is that have our home be a safe place. And that's what works the best, is our food environment, keeping it at least safe at home. And Pam says, yeah, I gave a more or one like you, Gina. I can stop now. Yeah, I gave a more or one like you.
I'm not sure.
Gina, I could stop. I don't know. Maybe she means like a like, and we sure could use some likes on our videos. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate that big time. It does make a difference. Hey, and we got Tracy in the house. She says, hello, everyone. Late to get on here, but just wanted to say thank you, Gina and Jane. You both could convince me to get my mammogram scheduled. I hadn't realized it's been 5 years since the last one.
Well, that's great.
Tracy,
no,
thank you.
You have.
Thank you. Thank you for see how it's doing a little swirly?
There we go.
There we go. We're back. Sorry about that. Disappeared for a second.
I blame Gina.
Oh, gosh. But Tracy, thank you for letting us know that that video made a difference. And I told this to Jane when she started her YouTube channel, and we helped her start her channel, that you do the videos. Every video you do is for the power of one. And if it makes a difference for at least one person, then it's worth your time to create that video. And I am so glad you told me that video made a difference, and you're going to get your mammogram. Thank you so much. And I'm going to put a prayer out there for you that you have nothing burger. They smash it and go, yep, your boobs look good. See you in a year. And then come back in a year, because it's good to do every year. The one thing that I do tell myself as I feel my balloon filling, that, hey, I did my mammogram a year to the day. It was the very first day of 2026 that my insurance would pay for my one free prevention mammogram. So if there is something growing inside that right breast, it hasn't been growing for that long, and we'll be able to nip it in the bud and take care of it. Whereas if I waited a long time, it'd have time to fester. And I even got Jane to confess. She, for 20 years, was a radiologist looking at mammograms all day long. And when she put her mammogram up on the screen, she was the first one to see it. And she saw her cancer in her breast. And I asked her and I said, so was it a year since your last mammogram? And then she went like this. And she said, no, it'd been a year and a half. And she had 2 tumors, not just one, but 2 different kinds of breast cancer and 2 tumors in her one breast. So I didn't mean to catch her regret there, but there was a little regret that, you really want to do it as quickly as possible. But thank goodness she did do the what do you call it when they take it off?
Lumpectomy?
No, she did the other
Biopsy?
one. No, mastectomy. She did a mastectomy on the one side. So she had that whole breast removed. And that was 4 years ago. And the cancer's never come back. And the other breast she kept, and that breast is still just pristine and fine. And so she's a 4-year cancer survivor. But you always want to catch it as early as possible. So do those mammograms every year. And thanks for letting me know, Tracy.
We'll pray that everything goes
and
exactly right.
Yeah, and it may be a nothing burger. It's just the regular, they press it, they look, and then they send you home. And then the next year you sign up to be pressed again. But thanks for letting me know, Tracy. And we'll pray that it's all good, that you have a good, normal one. And frankly, Michelle says...
Oh, it's not an L. It was E-I, not E-L.
Oh, emotional intelligence. Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Thanks.
That makes more sense. And Pam says, typo correction. I can eat just one dessert now, too, and walk away like you, Gina. Yeah.
That makes more sense now.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. And that does work for me. The other day, Jeff bought a Twix candy bar at Target.
Sorry.
And I was looking at the thing, how much it was, and I was like, oh my God, Jeff, do you realize that Twix candy bar is $1.69? Remember when candy bars were like 50 cents? And he said, well, is it worth $1.69 if I split it with you? And he opened it up, and a Twix is 2 sticks.
Is it worth 80 whatever cents?
Or 80 cents if I split it with you? And then he handed me half of it. So, because it's a Twix is two long sticks. Chocolate sticks. And he handed me one, and he had one. And you know what? I ate a bite of it, and then I handed it back to him, and I said, that's good. Here, you can have it. I just wanted to bite because I could see it. I could smell it. So I wanted to bite, but a bite was all I needed. And I was done, And Pam says, oh, and Pamela, our other Pam friend, says, coming on late. Hi, everyone. Snow's starting to fall here in New Jersey. A blizzard's predicted. I'm so done with winter this year. Oh my gosh. Well, you stay inside and stay warm, Pamela, and be safe. Try to stay off those roads as best you can. And Pam says, hi, Pamela. And Grant says, just started snowing here too. And Chalky says, my driver will be over the moon when you come to London, Jeff. But you'll be on the wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car, in one of the busiest, overcrowded cities in the world. Wow. So you're in London, Chalky? Seriously. That's also on my bucket list. I want to go to London. I want to go to Italy. We want to go to Germany. After we're done and we hit all the states in the United States, we're coming to Europe. And I want to meet you, Chalky. I want to meet you in London. We'll have to stop at whatever your favorite restaurant is to go to, or pub, and maybe we have some fish and chips and a beer or something. But I definitely want to meet you. You're on my bucket list now too. And Mindy says, the downsize video isn't an interview. I subbed in for Lorraine. Oh. She's out of town. So Christopher asked me to co-host. Oh, how fun is that, Mindy? Oh gosh, now I got to see that too. And Grant said, oh, cool, Mindy. That is cool, Mindy. Cool. And frankly, Michelle says, Gina, you are very lucky to have insurance. I lost a friend to breast cancer. She was young and no insurance. Oh, my God. Nonprofits would not help because of her age. Really?
Wow.
Found at stage 4, passed at age 37. Oh, that is so sad. That was something that my mom said that when she was talking to me, that I'm old. And she said, it's a really good thing, Gina. You're almost 60. Cancer grows slower when you're old. It's worse to find a lump in your breast when you're in your 30s because your cells are growing faster when you're younger. Oh, I am so sorry about your friend. And I have had friends die of breast cancer too. So it's scary. And it's scary. And that's why we really do need, go get your mammogram. You really need to do that once a year. So that way anything that's found can be found soon. And it's horrible not to have health insurance. It's devastating financially too. Sorry about your friend, Michelle.
Yeah.
And Barb says, I have to go lay down. I'll watch downsize videos later. Love to all. Oh, we love you too, Barb. And we're about done here. Pam says, I was surprised that candy bars king size are $4 on the Amtrak.
Wow.
Yeah, it's expensive. And Grant says, bye, sweet Barb. Yep. And Pam says, Mindy, I'll go watch your video before Grant's live. And that's everything in our stream. Let's see who won. Can you put it up for me, Jeff? Let's see who gets to wear a crown today. Next week, we'll be doing chapter 6. Tomorrow, I'll be giving myself my 111th shot on our Mounjaro Monday Live, which will be 5:30 Arizona, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. And for Chalky, I don't know, like after midnight. If you're available to watch. But if you're sleeping, Chalky sleep, you can catch me on replay. And let's see, here is, oh my goodness. 3rd place, getting to wear a crown today, is Barb, Health at Any Cost. 2nd place, frankly, Michelle, who told me about the book Weightless for us to do it for our book club. And number 1, live from London, Chalky. You get to be the Royal King again. Woohoo! Royal King of my chat. And Chalky says, God bless. Stay safe, everyone. Good night from England. Love you guys. Mwah. Hold on to your anchor moments and make it a great day. Bye-bye.